Denny, and good morning, afternoon, evening, everyone, and welcome to Denny in Virginia. I'm your host, Denny, here in Virginia. Where in Virginia, you might ask? Why, it doesn't matter. Welcome to yet another episode of Denny in Virginia, the podcast. This episode is going to be real rough. Real rough, so you're going to have to forgive me. But I wanted to go live for this episode of Denny in Virginia, the podcast, because as you can tell by the title, I want to talk about raising our standards, ironically, with this episode, and habit formation. So, full transparency. I am only doing this podcast episode because I told myself that I would start posting long form content every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it is Wednesday. And on Wednesday, I was like, I'll just do podcast episodes every Wednesday. It's super easy because it's live, it's super easy to do. And what I miscalculated was that I forgot I had taken all of my webcam and my mic away from my main desk because I had filmed in another location before and I forgot to plug it back in. And so I did not make it easy to do the podcast on my laptop. So, not gonna lie, I was going to go to sleep. I was this close to going to bed. And then I was like, I said I would do it, and so I will do it. So here I am doing it. So I hope you guys are having a wonderful night. I hope you're having a much better night than I am. And that's a pretty high standard because I'm having a pretty good night because I'm doing what I said I was going to do. Anyway, let us talk about raising our standards and habit formation, as you can tell by the title. So, for those of you who haven't seen, I recently uploaded a video addressing Chesapeakeans specifically because I reside in the Peak of Excellence. I reside in Chesapeake currently. And so I made a video addressing Chesapeakeans specifically because I would like to start raising standards from the perspective of Chesapeake first and then see if that works. When it works, how can we apply that to other cities and counties in the great state of VA? So Chesapeake is like my playground of how do we raise our standards. So right now, I had decided that I'm going to be focusing mainly, not exclusively, but mainly on Chesapeake for the duration of the year so that I can really just get a better foundation on my immediate area, which is already pretty darn big, to be honest. Chesapeake is a pretty big city. So the goal is to kind of just evaluate the stuff that we are currently at. Like, what is our current level of standards? What is our current level of customer service? What is our current level of being just really chill, cool people? What is our current level of cleanliness? What is our current level of encompassing Virginia is for lovers? What is our current standard? And how do we raise that standard? So if you haven't seen that video already, you can watch that. I recently uploaded it, and so it's just I think it's a message to Chesapeake or a message to Chesapeakeans. And like I said, the whole video is just about us raising our standards. And so I also want you guys to know that I want all of the state of Virginia to raise their standards as well because we are well worth it. We raise our standards to a higher level because we are the bar setters, you know. We're not down here no more. We're not down here. We are up here. And so I just want everybody to raise their standards so that we can all get on the same high level, elevated level that will have the rest of the world looking in on us like how are they all at that level? How are they all operating at that level for such a long amount of time? I don't understand why everyone is so nice. I don't understand why everyone is winning. I don't understand why everyone is wealthy. I don't understand why the entire state just seems to be doing so well. The economy is bursting with like goodness and there's just like so much goodness happening in the great state of VA. And so that's the point that I want Virginia to get to. So that's part number one. Part number two is in order to do that, we need to have better habits. And the reason why I'm talking about this is because I recently started reading Atomic Habits by James Clear. I'm reading it with a couple of friends. And so I want to form the habit of actually applying books that I read to my life. So I am a book nerd. I have a bunch of personal development and self-help books that I have read some of them, but not all of them. And yet here I am, you know, that's not a bad thing, but it's like I could be a lot further along if I actually apply what I learned from the books. And so as I learn things in this book, I want to apply it to my personal life so I can be better about doing this whole Denny and Virginie stuff because I've been freestyling this for far too long. So I need a better blueprint. I need a better methodology of creating content for you guys because as you can see, the growth has been it's been good, but it's been very like marginal and slow. So I'm reading Atomic Habits and I want us all to start thinking about the habits that we are doing every single day. Do you have a bunch of like good habits? Do you have a bunch of poor habits? And at the end of the day, Are you doing more good habits than poor habits? Are you making it easier to do the good habits, or are you falling back to doing the bad habits so that they become ingrained in you? So habit formation. Just realize what type of habits you are doing, like whether consciously or subconsciously. I know for me, a bad habit that I have that I need to get over is that unorganized chaos. I operate a lot in chaos, like for example, this entire live operating in chaos. Okay, good. So yeah, good habits. You just need more good habits than bad habits. So it's like um, reading Atomic Habits, I'm on chapter 3, and it was just saying that you don't have to be perfect, which, nobody is perfect. So just start tabulating like how many of the good habits are you getting? How many wins are you getting? How many W's are you getting? And then how many L's are you getting throughout the day? And start eliminating the bad habits that you're doing. Start slowly getting them out of your life and start slowly adding in more of the good habits that will actually push you towards your goals, that will actually push you towards like being a better person, that will push you towards raising your standards so that you become more of the person that you know you can be, because so many of us are operating at a much lower level than what we should be. So that is all I really have for you guys tonight. I hope you guys are having a wonderful, beautiful day. Again, this is a very like random live or Denny and Virginie the podcast episode. I'll do a lot better next time when I have my setup back and I'm back at my messy, messy desk, and it won't be messy because we're forming good habits. So once I clean this whole thing up and get my setup back, we'll be back in action for Denny and Virginie the podcast, and I'll be rocking and rolling a lot better because I will be having much better habits. So I hope you guys are having a wonderful, beautiful, fantastic night. And until next time, this has been Denny and Virginie the podcast, in which I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm going to figure this out day by day. So yeah, you guys have a wonderful, fantastic, beautiful night because it is yet another beautiful day here in VA. So until next time, Denny out.